morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 194 as we have our final two head coaches named, and we're going to talk about that. We are finally in Super Bowl week, so we got to talk about what's already transpired in the Super Bowl week, and then we'll do a wrap around and all of other sports. Other news in sports, we'll talk about Trinity Rodman, highest paid woman in that. Lisa's got some opinions on that, so we got a lot to talk about. Let's get it started.
Yeah, I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Socks.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
And I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes. All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
Welcome back to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 194. I'm here with Anthony and Tim, and we are in full drama with the coaching carousel. I believe we completed the carousel, so let's talk about our final coaches stepping into their new roles. We have Mike LaFleur getting hired as the Cardinals head coach. Let's hear about that. Anthony, were you shocked to see this, or did you kind of see this one coming?
Not so much shocked, but more of like, okay, let's see how this goes. He is the younger brother of Matt LaFleur. If you've heard that name before, he is the younger brother. So two brothers coaching in the league again. I know we have the Harbaugh brothers, now the LaFleur brothers. Mike was the offense coordinator for the Rams. So it sounds like the Cardinals are trying to switch mindsets. They go away from the previous coach who was defensive-minded, now going to an offensive-minded. LA had a high-powered offense. They were the number one in passing, like number 5, I think, in running. So maybe the Cardinals could do that, right? Well, let's remember who the Cardinals got on staff compared to who the Rams got on staff. He's got his work cut out for him here. I think the Kyler Murray problems and all that situation there as well, he's going to have to get all that figured out. So Kyler Murray, see you later. You're probably gone because he's going to need his quarterback. So, but I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. It's just like it's not a splash. Not yet. And who knows? 1 year could change a lot. We've seen that, but a little, not a huge name, I guess.
Okay. All right. Tim, what were your thoughts when you heard Mike took this job?
Is this Mike LaFleur because he's a good OC, or is it because of Sean McVay's game planning?
Yep.
Well, this is. I mean, anybody can be a good coach when you got a coach that is a very offensive-minded. So a lot of it is his plays. Is it Mike LaFleur's plays or is it Sean McVay's plays? I don't know. I got to see what this guy is going to entail. Yeah, he was the OC but I think Sean McVay was probably calling the majority of the plays. He was just kind of like how Sean Payton does for Denver. I think he's just a puppet so we're going to see how good he is. I hope they do good. Like you said, Kyler Murray's not going to be their guy. They're probably going to have to go into the draft and get somebody, or maybe they can get a Malik Willis, somebody that's a free agent, or they go into the draft. They're probably, I would imagine, a top 5 pick, but there's just not any quarterbacks out there to go out and grab right now this year. So I don't know. I think they go the free agency. Jacoby Brissett is not going to be their guy. He might be a good backup for him. I mean, but I can't see him starting 17 games. So I think they go with a patchwork until they can find somebody good next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Anthony, we saw this stat about Sean McVay's coaches now being all in head coaching positions. There's 4 previous positions. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so like every time an offense coordinator comes into the range, and it's the tree, right? We talk about whether it's the Bill Belichick tree or whether it's the Bill Parcells tree, and we've heard all these names and say the tree. Sean McVay's got a hell of a lineup behind him who have went on to go coach. But remember, like we just said, who was calling the plays?
Right.
If Sean McVay was calling the plays, you can't imagine that this team is going to be. I think this team's going to have to take a couple years of rebuilding. Definitely that offensive side. The defense, you still got Budda Baker, right?
All right.
That's about it. So they got a lot to go, but they do have a great draft pick. So hopefully they can pick some great guys up throughout the draft to rebuild that team. But if you think you're going to see the Chicago Bears
No.
or see one of these first years, you know what, Cardinal fans, don't watch this year then, because it ain't going to be like that for you.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking more of the line of success that we've seen his previous, offensive coordinators get head coaching positions, and they're doing well for themselves. So
Yeah, for now.
for now.
Because it is. And that's, we'll
Yeah.
talk about another coach, but it's in the moment.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, the Rams had a great offense, but can he head coach? A head coach and offense coordinator are two different worlds. Ask
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and now we have Clint Kubiak gets hired as the Raiders head coach. Now, Tim, were you shocked to see this one? Do you think the Raiders were just trying to grab anybody?
I don't think so because the Kubiak name is very synonymous to offense. And I want to say, is that his dad that
Yeah.
was Gary Kubiak? He was the head coach for Denver and also he was an OC at Denver as well. So I think that tree, like we said with McVay, this tree here could be, and he did take Sam Darnold to the Super Bowl. Now, as he's becoming now he's going to become a coach. He gets the number 1 pick. Now he gets Mendoza.
Yeah.
So I think you're in good hands with a good OC. Now he's going to be the head coach, and I think this is a great pickup for the Raiders. And also, they have somebody in-house named Mr. Tom Brady that could probably throw his 2 cents in and say, hey, what do you guys think? So
Right.
I think it's a great pickup. But I don't think they can announce it yet until after the Super Bowl, I think.
He can't sign until
He can't sign.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's a great pickup. I think they're going to be on it, but it's in a tough AFC West division. They're still going to finish last. I'm sorry. That division is tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll be fighting with Denver for the bottom.
I don't think so. No, I think they'll be fighting with Kansas City for the bottom. Not
Ooh.
true. You got to remember, you might not have Mahomes for majority of the year. He said he's going to be back in September.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
see.
believe that when I see it. Okay.
I didn't realize that the Kubiak name was a legacy name. So
Yeah.
that is good to have. And I'm sure Tom did put some 2 cents into that. Anthony, what did you think about this pick?
Yeah, so this is the third coach in 3 years for the Raiders. So let's remember that. They had Pierce 2 years ago. And then now you had Carroll go. So this job is a job that could be gone by next year. 1 year good of success with Sam Darnold. It is kind of sad because I think Sam Darnold would love to have him back next year. Yeah. They had great success, but it makes sense, like he said, with the Raiders. You're getting Mendoza in there. Mendoza is not going to be a day one, Pro Bowl quarterback. He's not. There's still things he's got to work on in the NFL level. Well, then go get him a coach that can help him work towards that. And that's what this is here. Like you said, this can't be finalized until after the Super Bowl because he did take a team to the Super Bowl and could be a Super Bowl winner. I would say probably a good favorite to win this Super Bowl. So that would be a good ride into it. But you said Tom Brady's got some input. Just get your ass back out in the field. Just do it. We all know when he wants it. He wants to get out there. Just be a backup or something. I know that would hurt his legacy and everything, but he's got a better chance than obviously throwing Mendoza out there game one.
Well, maybe he's trying to pull a Phillip Rivers situation and come into his own team.
Yeah, but you don't go into ownership if you have plans of coming back to play. Let's just say that. This isn't Jackie Moon and semi-pro where you own a team and no.
Yeah.
So
you never know. We've never seen it before.
And Tom Brady's batting out of his league right now with these women out there. So just do your thing out there, Tom Brady. Don't put pads on.
Yeah.
Put other protection on. What? So.
What?
All right. Well, it is Super Bowl week, so we have big topics coming up. Some we'll talk today and some we'll talk in the next episode. But with it being media week, we got some good questions we kind of want to talk about here. Now, we know that, one of the many reasons why Roger Goodell gets paid the big bucks is to speak to the media. But Anthony, what were some of those topics that he was talking about? Some hot topics too.
Yeah, 3 huge hot topics, right? So first one coming off, lack of diversity amongst the 10 new head coaches that got hired. 0 being diversity. 0. We only have 3 black coaches in the NFL now. 3. So that was a huge topic. He did speak to that, Rudy Rule and all that. The Giants co-owner, Steve Tisch, I believe his name is, had emails to the Epsteins So not great there. A lot of people get named. It's kind of like communism all over again, isn't it?
Who hasn't been named in the Epstein
Yeah.
files yet?
Well, I will be. Don't worry about that. But
Me neither.
Bill Belichick was the other conversation, being a first-round snub, for the Hall of Fame. But also Robert Kraft joins him on that, as he didn't get into the Hall of Fame as well, which if one ain't going to get it, the other one shouldn't either.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they're not going to list out the reasons why he didn't, then yeah, it only seems fair to be that route. Tim, what did you think about these topics that he had to handle? That's pretty intense to handle.
Yes, and the black coaches. That is, I mean, now that Tomlin's gone, which Tomlin parted ways. I mean, that wasn't he didn't get fired. That was a parting ways because he's still getting paid. I just think where it's going towards this is analytics. Analytics is, I don't know why it doesn't favor the black coaches, and I don't understand that. I don't understand because there's so many good black players that why are they not? There are more coaches involved with this, so I don't understand it. But I've heard a rumor is that because of analytics, and I'm like, I don't know. I just. They definitely need to look at the Rooney Rule. I did because I think they just go through the motions with that rule. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't think they don't give them any consideration whatsoever. And there's a lot of good black athletes that could be coaches that should get a chance at it.
Yeah, I think there's opportunity for when you talk about athletes going into coaching. Not a lot of times do athletes go into a head coaching position right off the bat.
Yeah, they start.
But I do agree with the Rooney Rule. You have to make this more of a effort. Effort is what matters about this. It's not to fulfill a quota. It's to actually consider. Like Brian Flores, I get it. I don't understand why he's not a head coach. I get why GMs are scared to hire him because of the situation when I'm down in Miami. But like Brian Flores deserves to be a head coach. Like 100%. Like he is, that defense, the way it ran in Minnesota is absolutely perfect. Minnesota had a winning record because of Brian Flores. Let's be real. Right. How did he not get an actual shot to become a head coach? But at the same time, too, when you look at these offensive coordinators and this is where the Rooney Rule needs to really step its stuff. Not so much the head coaching, but give more opportunities for offensive and defensive coordinators to get in there so that they can get a head coaching job because maybe they're the offense coordinator for the Rams or maybe they're the defense coordinator for the Ravens. Who knows? But that's where it's definitely got to step up.
Well, and here's another thing, too. Remember Eric Bieniemy? 5 years ago, he was the hottest thing since sliced bread. He ain't even getting a sniff now anymore. So something had to have happened between the time that he was with Andy Reid, now he's back with Andy Reid as the OC there, and the time he left. So what happened there that made some owners not go, maybe I don't think I want. I don't know. There's just and you know what? Here's another thing, Anthony. There ain't a whole lot of black owners. There's not a whole lot of black GMs. So it's
and
they got to straighten that out as well. The Good Old Boys network is not. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and they
got to diverse in that as well. They got to start at the top.
Yeah. Well, and that's how it starts, right? It starts from the top to get down because you're seeing owners more than ever being more involved in the decision making, even though there is a GM. I mean, look at the Bills owner saying that, like, what happened there? But I definitely agree. But we're also seeing Minnesota now that they're saying that the tension started when he decided to take 2 weeks off for paternity leave. And it was like,
really?
Well, obviously, like they should. But people are like, there's only 32 selections. So
there's only 32 jobs of these, right?
And you don't see head coaches taking time off. If your company can't run 2 weeks without me, then it's probably got more dysfunction than just me.
Yeah.
So it is. And I will say one other thing about the conversations. I don't care about the Epstein thing because this is just like whatever. I've learned about it in school because that's how long ago. The communism bullcrap where everyone was that. And we look back on it and we're like, it was absolutely dumb. But the Bill Belichick first round snub and Robert Kraft now, he kind of like beat around the bush for that answer. Kind of like, well, they'll get it right. They'll get it. No. We need to look into it now.
Yeah.
Because every day that goes by that Bill Belichick's not in the Hall of Fame is a shame on the NFL. Is a shame on it. And Robert Kraft the same way. Now, you can have your opinions about either one of these people because if you're outside of New England, you're probably looking at it as Bill Belichick was the guy. Robert Kraft is the one that sold him out with that documentary, with the awfulness about that, making Tom Brady seem good. So if Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick are not first round, then how can Tom Brady be once it comes time? Because Tom Brady is that because of those guys.
Yeah.
Yes, he won one in Tampa, but come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That'd be interesting when he comes up, whether he gets the first ballot, first year.
And I would say yes, but at the same time, I would have said yes to Bill Belichick.
I
and
would
I would have
too.
said yes to Robert Kraft. So I'm out there if you guys need someone to select, because I do watch football. Ask Lisa. I watch football.
Right.
But I wonder with what you said that like Tom winning a Super Bowl outside of that organization does make an impact, because you didn't see Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft,
But he won one. That's it. The rest of them were in New England. So
Yeah, but one is more than what some other people can say.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
it is tough. And I think if they win this weekend, now you're on the same page as Tom Brady.
Right.
If Mike Vrabel comes in and wins one with that, then you got to go back to Robert Kraft saying yes. Now, obviously, Bill Belichick's not a part of that, but Robert Kraft now, you got to look at him differently and be like, he won it without Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
And it really wasn't that long of a gap period. Like, we've seen many teams that are, they've won one and it's been 40 years. So
10 years for this team back here, now 11. So,
yeah. Well, and I'm a Vikings fan, man. We can't even make it. We can't even make it past the first round.
Yeah, you've made it. You just can't win it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, well, speaking of Mike Vrabel, oh my gosh, let me try that again.
Speaking
of Mike Vrabel, still said it wrong. The reason why I shouldn't be an announcer, because I butchered.
Yes.
Speaking of the Patriots head coach, he was being interviewed with the Bussin' with the Boys at Media Week, and he had a very interesting question come up. Anthony, please describe what happened in this interview.
Yeah, so a couple years ago, he said that he would give his mail a part, that he would give it away. He'd cut it off to win another Super Bowl. Well, we're here now, bud. So what are we doing with this? It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome, because Mike Vrabel was up there to speak to the media, right? And it's always these people that are, one of the questions he got asked was, does this game matter more? What? Every game matters. He goes, yes, this game matters. It matters more because it's the Super Bowl and stuff. But then the Buffalo Boys come up, and you see Mike just start smiling. And as soon as he saw him, so they both approached it, and they asked him, and he said, well, and they were like, well, what would you be the first coach to go under anesthesia after winning the Super Bowl? And he's like, nah, I don't need anesthesia for this. And what's the other? Will goes, yeah, you can tie a rubber band on it and cut it off. That's my boy right there. And you see the entire journalism, these people that went to school for years on journalism, look at him going, what the hell are they talking about? But this is the new face of journalism, people. Podcasting. People like Pardon My Take, Big Cat, PFT, Pat McAfee on ESPN, and Bussin' with the Boys. You saw Vrabel honestly answer a question that he wanted to answer, not just get asked. I will say, though, he did kind of get going, guys. You're going to get me in trouble. Get going. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Yeah.
But it should be more lighthearted. I mean, because you're going to get, those questions of does this game matter? Or how does this compare to the beginning of the season? And you have those rehearsed. But when you have something that's off the wall and fun like that, it makes it more interesting, and, it gives more, spotlight to the media week. Because otherwise, these answers are already predicted, Yeah.
Well, and I'll say this too. You could tell that a lot of these journalisms have never played the game, right? Yeah. Just even some of the questions were just what are we talking about here? Yeah. I mean, I go back to the Tom Brady question where the little kid asked him.
That's what I was just going to bring up.
His, and he said his dad and things like that. It just meant more. But then you get these, Ivy League dorks. That's what I want to call them. That are so third down and fish. Guys, we've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. If you don't know what is going to happen in this game or how to prepare for this game, they didn't make it here. They made it to the Super Bowl by knowing what they're doing. So, but yes, I will say, though, this will be a hot topic if they do win, though.
Oh, I
Because
bet. Yeah.
this man has to live up to his his thing. Because Big Cat on his is always talked about. He always puts a team out there and he'll lose his pinky. This year it was the Texans, and so he actually had to report to a surgeon, being like, "How do I live without a pinky?" Because he was going to cut his pinky off. Hey, you make a thing out here, you better do it. Just like I'm going to do pancakes eventually.
Right.
Someday soon.
Yeah, not looking forward to it.
All right, well, that wraps up what we have so far going on in the Super Bowl. Like I said, we have more to talk about on our next episode, talking about our potential betting and, the fun bets too, how long we think the national anthem might be. So stay tuned for those. Going on in other sports news, Trinity Rodman signs a 3-year, $6 million deal, being the highest paid woman in sports history. Now, when I was first told this news, I was honestly more upset than I probably should have been. But to be completely honest with you, I don't think it's fair that we're just now making news that a woman is now making $2 million a year in her sport. Are you kidding me? We should have been past this milestone already. It's unfortunate to see that we're women's sports are still not getting the acknowledgement that kids in college football are receiving. Like, I'm sorry, like, I get it. You're in your prime and you're doing your sport, but so are these women. Like, it doesn't seem fair that they're, not getting the same attention in that sense. Now, don't get me wrong. It's also hard to watch these sports when they're not on primetime TV. And we just saw a commercial for like the college women's basketball coaches getting interviewed and having this whole like in-depth conversation on Tubi. On Tubi. You can't even put that on ESPN. Like, I have so many thoughts on this. I understand that I can go on a vent on this, but please let me hear your thoughts. Anthony, I just feel like we're just behind the ball, and it's not like this isn't the recognition. Yes, she deserves that. Absolutely. But I just wish it was more.
Yes. So I will say this. I think it's a right step in the right direction, right? I 100% agree with what you're stating. Caitlin Clark, these people that are faces of the leagues are making less than what this is. This is crazy. But it is in the right direction. And I think the media and people are putting out so much now about why this is needed to be done. Even you speaking about this, it's different for us to speak about this, right? Because we're talking about our sports. We want to talk about this, but we don't spend time talking about the women's soccer. But if I would have it right now on ESPN, I would watch it because I'm watching hockey and I'm not a huge fan of hockey. I'm watching other sports, but if you would put it on the CW, you put it on things where you have to go get an extra sports package.
TNT.
Yes, but you have to go get a sports package to go watch it. So now I got to go spend extra money for this. I definitely agree with you. I think it's the right direction. She deserves every dime of it, and I think it's a start. And I think you'll see it a little bit more often. You may not be as much national news, but it is tough to hear when a quarterback in college football that is playing at a lower level than the highest league is making $7 million a year when she's making $2 million and she's playing at the highest, being a captain of the U.S. women's national team.
Yeah, exactly. Tim, did you have any thoughts on that?
I'm shocked that this has taken this long. Back when the World Cup for the U.S., that was what, 94? And that's when Chastain made that hell goal for the win. That was 30 years ago. And we're still this far back where she's making just $2 million. 30 years ago? And this is the farthest we got in 30 years? Come on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the viewership is down, but you've got to put it on maybe you got to put it on prime time. The only time we talk about women's soccer, when the World Cup comes around. That's it.
Yep.
In the Olympics. Yeah. That's it. That's the only time we talk about it is then. They've got to get it. They've got to publicize it more. Somebody's got to reach out, and other than TNT and showing friendlies once every 3 or 4 months. It's not going to cut it. Somebody's got to step up, either ESPN or somebody, not pay-per-view, not Apple, because that's where Apple is for the MSL, No, it's got to be to get this ball moving. They've got to get where it's got to be in a bigger brand, whether it's ESPN, which right now that's the hottest ticket, or somebody, whether it be Fox. Fox has got the World Cup. Yes, somebody has got to step up. I mean, I'm shocked that. I mean, I don't know when the first $1 million player was, but $2 million in 30 years. We got a long way to go. If that's going to be the increment every 30 years, about $2 million. They're in big trouble.
Well, and I need a stat person here because I think you're my stat guy. Didn't Troy Aikman ask for a $100 million contract? Wasn't that Troy Aikman back in the day I thought there was back in the day where a quarterback asked for $100 million to play quarterback and people were like, he doesn't deserve that money and blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff, right? That's now this. Because now quarterbacks get paid and we don't even blink eyes at it.
Right.
We're just like, oh, nope. So I do think this is the right direction.
Oh, I definitely agree, but it's a slow direction. It's this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going up the arch. Click, click, click. Yeah. It's too slow. Too slow.
Yeah. It definitely feels like they're pushing this huge boulder over a hill and barely making it any progress.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because this is their livelihood. And you're saying that they're supposed to support their families and their own, you know what I mean? On not that much, is unfortunate. They're pouring everything into their sport. And whether that's soccer, volleyball, or basketball, or whatever it may be, they're pouring everything into it. And they can't speak towards it. You know what I mean? They can't make enough to support that.
Well, and another league cannot subsidize that league. MSL can't even will not be able to subsidize. MSL.
Yeah. MLS.
Major Soccer League. MSL. They cannot subsidize these gals neither. Because they're struggling just to get viewership on the zone. That's why somebody's got to step in and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. They have to have a game plan. This is what we're going to put money towards, how much we're going to do within the next 10 years, whatever. And show them that they're serious about it. Somebody's got to step up, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, well, and I just look at Pat McAfee when he actually had Trinity on his show and was like, how do I get involved? How do I and it was like the fact that we have to ask how to get involved is already the step back. Yeah. Get involved and then promote getting involved. So,
Yeah. And when I even just talking about the WNBA, you have these huge names in there. I mean, and they're up and coming too. You got Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Buckets, these big names coming up. I hope that, we're able to use social media in a sense to bring people more in and so that they can, not just have to rely on sponsorships to make money, but their sport actually supports them. So.
And I have one last thing. And when the money comes, don't attack them because of the money coming. Because we saw that in the WNBA when Caitlin Clark came up. We saw some of the older players, Diana Taurasi, all them, attacking her, Sue Bird attacking her for it. Are we not promoting? Are we not trying to? Right. Also, Caitlin Clark has gone through hell with the fouls and things like that too as well. So, yes, at the same time, that will show your viewership right off that show if the person that everyone likes is the one getting hurt because of things like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for letting me vent there.
Yeah.
Onto the what is it? The Winter Classic. The Boston Bruins and Tampa Bay Lightning had their stadium series in Florida of the coldest week that the states have seen in years, but it was absolutely ridiculous. Everything was above and beyond. It just seemed like, they saw the bar of yeah, that makes sense, and let's go way past it.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that you guys saw that you thought were a little extreme?
I'll let you go first.
Oh, the outfit that the coach for the Tampa Bay Lightning had on was tremendous. I loved it, which I come to find out, I didn't know if you knew this, but later or the next day, it was supposed to be a tribute to the Cubans, that outfit. I didn't know that. I'm like, if you're going to tribute to the Cubans, why didn't you do it down in Miami when the Florida Panthers or somebody like that would play? Tampa's so far away from Miami. It's on the other side of the state. But that you were trying to tribute the Cubans. I'm like, but that outfit was. We went back and forth to Texas. I loved it. I loved the outfit. The assistant coaches, and like you said, I said he looked like a pimp, and you said he looked like a gangster. Well, come to find out, he was trying to imitate Scarface off the movie Scarface. Al Pacino. So he did a hell. He had a button-down chain on. It's 40-something degrees out. He had to be freezing because then they showed the other coach. and he's got a suit tie on. He's bundled up and everything. And they just showed, I laughed my ass off. And then they went right back to him like 5 minutes later in the period, and they're showing him on the sideline with the. I loved it.
I thought this thing was so ridiculous, and why I'm saying this is because it was ridiculously awesome. Like, if you're going to commit to something, commit. And ESPN did, because then they went to halftime, and they're all dressed, or intermission, intermission, and they're all dressed up as pirates. And so one's got like the hook and things like that. And then they show the stadium from up top. And this is where I think people don't realize that how big NFL stadiums or football fields are, because then they show the picture from the top, and they had to do things on the outside to give like some images of like the beach and the water and things like that, because the rink's not that big compared to the football field. But yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought obviously the coach dressed up. I thought the jerseys were cool too.
I did too.
I thought both jerseys would be a cool thing to have. I'm not cool with the mustard as much as the blue was. But if I'm going to get a jersey, that would be one I would like, because I thought they were super cool. And it came out to be a good game. Went 5-2, ended up 5-5, went out to a shootout, which you always love a shootout in there. The goalies fought. You got to take the goalies fighting in that one as well, which just even more entertainment. But yeah, I do want to say this going forward. Going to Florida is a little tough, because you're lucky it got cold that weekend. Otherwise, let's keep that up in Chicago or New York or something like that.
Boston, right. Yes. Also, Anthony, did you see where Mayfield brought the team in?
Yes.
And they had the Dreamsicle uniforms on, bringing them in. And he had the Tampa Bay jersey on. I thought that was awesome, because then Boston came in as the presidents, or the it wasn't the presidents,
Patriots,
but it's the Patriots, which was awesome too. I think this one was probably one of the better ones that they've done, as far as because I didn't know that this was they call them stadium series, and then they call them outdoor games. So it's two different kind of way they want to do it. But I thought this was awesome. I think going forward, you do this. You publicize where you're from or what stadium you're going to be in, and promote that kind of atmosphere. Because I'm going to tell you right now, hockey right now isn't really the greatest, I mean, luckily you played this game in between the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well,
between the conference championship and the Super Bowl.
They have Stadium Series, and then they have Winter Classic.
Yeah, that's
that's the two differences. But yes, the Stadium Series I thought was awesome, because it was when you fully commit to it, which we just got off talking about the soccer and stuff. When you fully commit to it, everyone's like, I'm going to tune in to see what the hell's going on. And then you get a great game behind it as well. So there
was the first goal was in fast as ever in an outdoor game, 11 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just boom. Tampa Bay was up 1-0. I mean, it was phenomenal. But overall, I thought it was great. I thought the way the John Cooper for Tampa Bay dressed up, and the whole game, like I said, the goalies went at it. I thought that was awesome. So.
Well, and Anthony, you're right. The size difference made a huge impact, because I'm like, what is all on the side of the rink? And then when they zoomed out, I'm like, oh, they did a treasure map.
Yes.
And, to kind of make space of it. And then they had a whole ship in there too. But
that's always there.
That's always there. I get that. I get that. But it just adds to the atmosphere, right? But then you were actually looking where the people were watching the game. They were so far away.
Yeah.
It was hard to being able to watch that as a fan. And you're probably thinking like, oh, I want to get, as close as I can to ringside, but you're probably not seeing much because you're on the same level then as everybody else. So
that is the one problem taken away, is because banging on the glass is a part of it. So definitely with goalies, you're going to go at it. That's when the crowd just goes crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they were in beanies and all bundled up, but that's like a spring day in the Midwest. We would have preferred that weather. You kidding me?
We were wearing shorts. We were like, oh yeah.
I would love to have 40-degree temperatures.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the Olympics real quick. Last week we talked about Lindsey Vonn suffering a injury, being having to be airlifted out. Well, it did confirm that she tore her ACL, but she is still determined to compete in the Olympics. And I am, applauding her, because this is her sport. This is her time. I don't know how she's going to do it, but I'm going to support her while she does it. She's in a really tough sport to have to side on each leg there. So it'll be interesting to see how she does, but go get it, girl. What do you think, Anthony?
It adds to the storybook. It adds to it. Yet alone is she coming back after 8 years of not competing in the Olympics. Now she has an injury that's going to cause, like, I just hope that if she is able to go, she's able to go, well enough that if the person that alternate could have got the chance to go, but at the same time, like, this just adds to it. If she even places anywhere, we got to applaud for what she did, because
absolutely.
I mean, I do a combine at 31, 32 years old, and I'm like, holy hell. And she's doing this at the highest level, so, good for her.
Yeah, definitely. Tim, what did you think?
Yeah, this sucks. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, I hope she does still compete and doesn't take a spot away from her. But a torn ACL, that snow's not soft. It's hard as a rock. And you're going to bang that knee off there going side to side. And that knee is just going to take I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to take a hot take. I don't think she competes.
Yeah, I don't
think so. I think she goes down, she starts to practice and has to pull out. And that way they can pull somebody in. I don't think she competes. I
don't know if that's so much a hot take, because that's just like basics. Like, I will say a hot take. I think she gets silver or plus.
Oh, okay.
I think I don't think she would go out there if she didn't feel like she could do it.
Gotcha.
Because why? At your age, why do that?
Yeah.
Why? Why make it worse? So I think if she's saying, hey, I want to compete, and she can compete,
right,
I think she places pretty well.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, when you are so determined into your sport, like, it's hard to say, like, I'm going to hang my cleats up. Like, I'm going to put everything I can as if this is my last race.
It probably is her last race. Yeah. This is her last Olympics. She ain't going anymore.
Exactly. So I bet she puts everything out there, and, I'm sure she's going to be happy with it regardless.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. We'll be watching the Olympics for sure. This is episode 194. We talked a lot of sports here. We got NFL. We got things like that. We'll be back on Friday, where we're giving who we think's going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to give our takes on that. We'll also give some fun prop bets in there as well. What color is the Gatorade going to be? How long's the national anthem? Heads or tails? Because $3.4 trillion, is that what I saw, is going to be gambled on this Sunday. We could save our actual national deficit by doing something like this, because
and is that legal money, or is that
don't tell my bookie. So because I'm in Wisconsin, so we got to find those people now. So
right.
But yes, we'll be back on that, and then we'll kind of finish with a little fun Super Bowl trivia, as Lisa has prepared that for us. We'll see how we do. Hopefully it's not too hard. Definitely some multiple choice in there, because sometimes it's a little hard on the spot. But we'll be back on Friday. If you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And, have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you on Friday.